Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Here I am recording. Thank you very much for joining me. Today's reading is going to be how to have your best year yet. And I know that times are difficult at the moment, but we can still have good years even if they are hard. And hopefully they won't be, but let's just have a look. You've got three choices. I'm going to choose cards haphazardly. You have got the Empress for number one. For number two, you have got Knight of Cups. And for number three, the Queen of Cups. So if you want to take your choice, we're going to look at lots of different things. Start off with a spiritual perspective, go into what I guess is more material than relationships. And yeah, you'll see in a minute. See you in a minute. Okay, let's go through these slowly. I can add on if I need to. The big, can you all see these? These look a bit sort of as if they're shifting your eyes a bit around, don't they? Like a kaleidoscope. The brown cards are more spiritual perspective that I'm going to start off with, because I think over this next year, 2 years, I think this will be everybody's main perspective, even if they don't realise it. I really can't emphasise that enough at the moment. And I've been doing tarot on YouTube for about 4 or 5 years, knowing that times are changing, and now here we are. So let's just go from that to begin with. This is you at the moment, maybe something. The Queen of Pentacles is a lady or a gentleman, normally quite mature, whether they are in age or whether they just are with regards to personality or soul development, but whatever that means. Well, what does that mean? An old soul, maybe, I suppose. But it's somebody who takes things at face value and doesn't read too much into situations and comes out with what I guess are solid decisions and are very grounded, very sort of steady, responsible, not easily moved by emotions too much, by fear or by overexcitement or by other people's thoughts or opinions about them. But normally very sort of gentle and very kind as well, the Pentacle energy. Steady, slow moving, reliable. So that may be who you are at the moment. The next card is, what is your soul yearning for? What type of dreams do you have? What do you feel is missing? What do you feel is like it's a little sort of nagging doubt inside you that there's more to be had, or you should be something. And it doesn't actually mean you should be, because we're supposed to be perfect exactly where we are at the moment. But there may be something that needs to be brought out a little bit more. Let's have a look. The Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of holding your own. And this little otter is building a dam. And I'm thinking here, if you're quite steady anyway, you may have built what I guess is a spiritual backdrop or a reliable understanding of yourself. And and at the moment it could be something larger, or further afield, that like fear that could be almost nipping at that, thinking, my God, did I choose the right timeline? What am I doing here? It could be that type of thing, or it could also be knowing that people possibly are going to rely upon you, and you need to keep yourself steady, and you need to also, it's almost like being on your own little ground here. It's almost like you have to stand protected in where you feel secure and keep away outside influences that don't serve you. That's what I'm trying to say. Whether they are bigger issues, which is the general fear that's being pushed out at the moment. The internet plays with your mind a bit. You get all these different things pumped out, and it's just part of what is actually going on. It is part of what's going on. But it can also be protecting yourself from everyday activities like stress in work and people that pull upon your attention or pull upon your emotions, or people that need to stand on their own 2 feet as well now. So that is what I've got at the moment. So your soul is learning to be quiet and to maintain the strength that you've already got. And that will be cutting out outside influences that don't serve you anymore. Okay, the next one is, what do you need to pay attention to spiritually? So I don't know what I'm looking for in this. I'm guessing it's something like dreams or somewhere you can develop yourself, or something you don't need to do. I don't know. I'll know when I see the card. The 5 of Cups is letting go of things that don't serve you anymore. It's almost as well a feeling of, if you're one of those people that gather lots of spiritual advice, or like even predictive, understanding, and searching into lots of different things, which I guess loads of people watching tarot naturally are inclined that way, to question and curiosity. There's a feeling here that things may sit inside you that you don't need anymore, that may have got you to this point already, that need to be dropped. And there's so many different perspectives, and I do believe that a lot of the spiritual information that you can get that has led you to this point at the moment, not all of it is coming from some of it can come from a bit of fear as well. So you've got 2 cups standing here, but you've got some cups basically turned over. To maintain this equilibrium and this strength inside yourself, you've got to let things go that don't serve you, even if you think that they are true or they are part of your belief system. If they're not keeping you strong or keeping you stable or keeping you kind and keeping you giving and keeping you aware, and I'm going to say strength again then, because it's like courage. It's like, maybe just put them on the back shelf. They've probably served a purpose to get you where you are, but there may be something in that where you may be questioning part of belief systems, maybe questioning experience that you've had, dreams that you've had. And we can over apply or overthink things with regards to, I love prediction, I love looking into things, and there's no prophecy that I haven't snuffled through. I don't think so. Actually, there are, but it's just, I've just done years of it and I absolutely love it. But I think that because my memory's bad, and then because I am very much just curious anyway, I tend to, and maybe that's why Geminis look a bit sort of untrustworthy. I tend to let a lot of it go as well. While Scorpios are there, like, they would be saying, oh, that's awful. You should basically, when you've put your effort into some things, stick with it, because that's what their strength is. My strength isn't that, and maybe yours isn't either. Maybe you've experimented and it's time to let go of things that don't serve you. They may be true, they may be right, but hold on to what is good for you at the moment is probably what I'd say there. So that's what we've got there so far. Let's have a look at more outward action. What should you be doing? How can you make this a really good year? The 10 of Pentacles is working with friends and family, accumulating, growing, very earthy energy. And that could be very much is in just getting the basics together, getting finances together, organising your finances. Let's just say the financial system is a little bit rocky at the moment. I don't know anything about money, but even I think that. It's where could you put your money so that it is safe? What could you do with it? And you've got this, this card is like family and friends and money all holding gold in their hands. I honestly know bits about money. I'm useless with it. So don't ask me. I ask my brother and he tells me little bits and bobs. But that is, people putting finances together so that it's stable, whatever that means. I don't think anybody really knows, but maybe they do. It could also be pulling all your hands together as part of a team with regards to family and friends and neighbours to do some sort of pentacle activity, like growing something, organising something, maybe something for the community, including people, maybe lonely people, maybe people that, it's like allotments or something like that. It's just being part of a team. It's doing something that's very practical. You're up, you're dressed in the morning, you're out there, and you're with other people, and it's making yourselves secure. So that's what you need to do outwardly. That may mean lots of different things to different people. I don't know. So what part are you playing in the grand scheme of things? So looking at life changing quite a bit at the moment, which I do a lot of readings on at the moment because it's something that is happening. And we're all wondering, will it happen? No, will it? Will the astrology be right? And here we are. So let's have a look at what part are you playing in the grand scheme of things. The Four of Pentacles is very much like the Queen of Pentacles. You're showing people, you're the, not the goalpost, what is the word? I don't know, it's like a tree, the tree trunk. You're the one that's steady and sturdy and safe, and you're not easily heightened, and that is what you're meant to be doing. You possibly could be the Ten of Pentacles, the one that organises things, so that people feel close, like a close and knitted community. Whether it doesn't have to be down the village hall with people over 90, it doesn't have to be that, with Walker's crisps and pop, but it could be almost what was I thinking then? It could be almost, it could even be like in a work scenario situation where people feel connected. It's just connected, and it's got a feeling of material security with it, making sure that everybody's okay on this very day. Not so much in the near future, although the money with the gold there very much could be making sure that your money is secure. And that may sound ridiculous, but if finances are all over the place at the moment, my father-in-law and mother-in-law say they had their pension taken away, and I don't know how long, I think it was in the 80s. I think it was in the 80s. It just disappeared. They'd worked their whole life, and the pension just disappeared. And there is possibly, that card would say, make it secure, so that doesn't happen to you, whatever that means. Don't come to me for financial advice, you'll have none left. Okay, so let's have a look at your career next. The Six of Pentacles is, this card, it's saving. It's money that's shared, needs to be saved. It's not being too flamboyant. And with regards to, not just finances, but in your career, the Six of Pentacles would be an element, again, of community, because there is an element of sharing in the Six of Pentacles. And there could be an element there that you take responsibility. And there could be an element of trying to make sure that everything's fair and even with regards to finances, money. This is not the time to take a huge bonus with that card there, because I think there could be, especially if money is tight at the moment, there could be a feeling of resentment, which I think is happening on a larger scale. Well, I know it's happening on a larger scale. So to keep things fair, to keep things stable, to be part of a team with the Six of Pentacles. The reason that I'm saying that the Six of Pentacles, I'll explain the cards just in case you don't really do that much tarot yourself, but with what I know, I don't really know what I know. But you've got a man who is a bit like the Merchant of Venice, and he's like giving money to the poor who are on their knees, and he's sort of making sure that it's fair and it's shared. But with this card in particular, you've got the person who's on their knees holding on to it. So there's an element of making sure that the people that are below you or that rely on you, or there's fairness for what I guess are the minions or the masses, on a more career level. So that doesn't actually mean that you all get the same pay, but it will mean not stretching it too far. It could also mean that the people that you that help you, or part of the running of your team, are given a lot of attention, if that is so. Or it's keeping an eye out for equality is what I would say there, especially with the people that are below you, because I think we can see a lot of protests and because they're revolutions, but I suppose it is a little bit going on around the world at the moment, and that's going to happen on a smaller scale on people. It's a little bit like when people get the idea then they could sit in work and think, well, hold on, I know it's a really small business, but my boss got a ginormous bonus, or my boss is on this, and so it can catch. And I don't know what that means, but that's what it is with regards to career, is fairness. Make sure that you're secure. Ask gently and kindly, or not ask gently, or it's like ask or take. I don't know what that mean is, or it's for equality. You can't take equality, can you? But it could be a little bit more firm asking. Let's put it that way. That is what I'd guess that is. Let me put another card on those ones, because I don't think I've done a really good explanation. But that is what it means to me. It's sharing, it's equality. But this person here hasn't got enough, and I'm thinking wider afield. That is what's rocking a lot of countries at the moment, is they feel that too much is being taken from the minions, from the masses. So, which is going to happen with Pluto and Aquarius. Aquarius is equality, sisterhood, brotherhood, and you've got Pluto going through it, which is control. So you're going to have people feeling like that. So let's have a look what that means to you. It's staying the same. It's keep things fair. The Temperance card is a spiritual perspective on what is earthy. So you've got there the Temperance card here, and so it's a long-term goal. It's don't go for those things that look successful in the outside world and gain you more, because I think that could actually end up in losses later on, if it's seen. Or I know I'm probably thinking down one track here. Go for what's fair. Go for what helps the group. Go for what helps more people. Does that make sense to anybody? Okay, the next one is finances, which is going to play a part in here. You got the Tower card. So with the Tower card, to be totally honest, there could be some sort of shock with regards to finances, which you've got hinted at here, and you've got sort of hinted at here. The more you strengthen your teamwork, your groups, the people that you work with, your associates, your contacts even, whether it's LinkedIn, but I think it's more people that you've already met, they may, with the Tower card is here, if you treat people fairly, if you show up to work and you work for the team and you're good at what you do, if the Tower strips away a part of your life and makes you unstable, those people may be the helping hands that give you the security later on. So which is almost building into a little sort of story here with regards to how your financial situation and your career is playing out. So I think that you possibly, with this Pentacle energy here, like security, but because it does feel so secure, it's almost like you're not easily rocked by the Tower card anyway, and we'll keep moving through it, but you will make sure that to me, with that energy there, it's not like when you get, I'm not say sacked, but if you lost money or you lost a job, you won't be the person like, hey, let's go travelling, or who cares, I needed it anyway. It'd be like, okay, that's unfortunate, I'm going to keep working until I feel stable again. Which I think is possibly with the Tower card there with finances. There may be a shock with regards to finances. I'm going to say it again. If you've got money invested anywhere, because of this card here with all the hands, like shares or anything, it's check them, whatever that means to you. Check them, move them if you feel that they're not secure. Because there may be some sort of, it's like a vacuum or suction of money coming out somewhere. It's like that's what I'm thinking. It's like money being taken from something, which could be a career or job as well. I'm going to keep moving on. So let's have a look at, this is I don't want to say generic, but it's like home, hearth, perhaps movement with regards to home, perhaps home improvements, perhaps foundation. I'm going to see where it links in with everything else here. The Hierophant card, very earthy again. The Hierophant card is actually a really good card to have there, because you've got this earthy energy, and the Hierophant card is taking what I guess is spiritual energy and siphoning into a material world, and you are what I guess is the middleman anyway. So to me, that is, even though there may be some changes with regards to career and finances, that you are the person who is going, people will be looking at how you cope with it, and I think that you will be okay in the end, because that's your part. You are the middleman. You are the person that understands it. You've got a key in a book here. It's like knowing what's going on possibly at the moment and understanding the situation, and which may go back to these finances here as well. And people may actually follow you, or it's like seek really good advice with regard to finances. And I think that may help you, and people, you may actually help, you know, somebody else on the way as well, if you talk about it. If you are earthy, I've got no earth in me. I say this every time I read. And so when it comes to, if people talk to me about money or numbers, I actually go ear blind. I don't listen at all. It's like instructions, I don't listen, but I think that you may. And I think that you could be the person that organises and almost saves other people from what I guess is situations that feel uncomfortable to them on a financial sort of level. Whether it is work, whether, you know, it is sort of seeing in the future that work may be instead in a certain area, there may be redundancies, that it's something like that, and possibly doing something different or keeping contacts open, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. So let's go on to the next one, which is platonic relationships. 7 of Wands here is I always think this card is unusual. It's sharks in a, it's somebody protecting a diver. Can you see the gun here? Can you see the man being sort of, what's that film when the man comes from the ceiling with Tom Cruise? I can't remember. Anyway, the sharks, they're protecting him from the sharks. So again, there's an element here of protection and maybe sort of batting people back. So with regards to platonic relationships, it's going to go very much with what we said here at the beginning with the dam, which again is the 7 of Wands. It's keep yourself to yourself. Keep yourself strong. Don't get over involved in situations. This may not be forever, but it's just there's probably wider things or bigger things afoot that will take your attention. You may not be actually that interested in going out, you know, and gallivanting with friends at the moment. There may be somebody, let me put another one on that, there may be somebody around you who could be quite negative, somebody around you who tries to pull you down or perhaps overexcite situations, that it may be a particular person that you need to keep away from, because there's an element of protection here and danger, which I could ham that up and make it sound really over the top and exciting, but it could be somebody who you normally hang around with that, again, a bit like this card here, doesn't really do you any favours. Could be a colleague, somebody fiery, somebody strong and opinionated, somebody that is possibly calling you to action in a certain area and you're trying to be consistent and calm. And I would guess here with this card here, it's like, don't let them rile you up, don't let them say this is what we need to do. And I can give you an example of this. Oh no, actually I don't know if that's a good example, because that could be quite negative. Yeah, I can give you an example. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. My sister's got a friend, one of them's in the forces, the man is in the forces, or he was in the forces, ex-army, and he's got lots of friends that are talking about bits and bobs that are happening, and he keeps riling her up, and she's I'm going to say CEO of a company, I'm not really sure to be honest, but she's got a lot of responsibility. She's an incredibly giving, incredibly positive person. She's got this sort of Sagittarius energy about her. And they are coming to what I guess is a little bit ahead at the moment, or heads, if that's right. There may be somebody around you like that, but I don't think you have the same energy as in like everything's, you know, fine, and it's more a case of I just need to keep myself to myself and keep myself steady, and this person may be riling you in a different direction. So let's have a look at love. The Death card. The Death card with regards to love can be good and bad. The Death card is, you know, all these cards have got history, haven't they? And the 13, the Death card, is based on Freemasonry, when the Freemasons were basically the Inquisition channeled together, I think it was in Portugal to be honest, and by the Inquisition, which I guess was British, was that? I don't really know. And then they were culled. They were basically burnt alive, and so it was on Friday the 13th. And I think that's where the number 13 is often seen as, you know, a very difficult number. But to be honest, it's just like change. And so love, there could be an end of a relationship that you may have outgrown. So there are changes coming to the Tower and the Death but it's also got rebirth here next to it. So it could be a new person coming into your life. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's strength. I want to say one or the other that I've just already mentioned, but my main thought, to be honest, here is because you've got such a solid feeling to this reading, you're somebody I think that other people look up to with regards to not easily being all over the place or shaken by information or shaken by life circumstances, that you may actually, this year may be the making of you with relationships as well, as feeling that people, by the end of the year, you'll feel that people are lucky to have you or be with you. Because there's a calmness in the Strength card, which is courage, but also overcoming what I guess is automatic instincts and reactions. Okay, I've stopped. I'm going to start again here because it's something that I can't talk about because it's too sensitive, and yeah, there's no place for it really today. There's actually no place for it. I was talking about the death and rebirth card here being the end of something, and this is a love card here, or the rebirth of something new. So I'm looking at it thinking, okay, is it going to be the end of a relationship that you're in, or is a new relationship coming to you? And then I get the Strength card on top. The Strength card is the most beautiful card because it shows the higher mind, really. It's not being ruled by your basic instincts. So I think that rebirth and love, because of the consistency and the maturity, well done, in here, there's a feeling here of that it's like falling in love with yourself. It's that you don't need anybody because you feel so strong within yourself. And it's also as well got that feeling of the Strength card being the sun, which is, is magnetic. We all go around the sun, don't we? Magnetic isn't the right word there. That people will be drawn to you because of who you are and who you are becoming. So with regards to how will this be your best year yet, it will be a year of being in charge of yourself. It will be a year of having very strong boundaries, letting go of information that you've gathered. People around you, you will keep at a distance. So you'll be letting go of information that you gather doesn't serve you. Keeping people around you at a distance that don't actually add to who you want to be and where you want to sit. Not in an aggressive way. I feel there may be changes in work. I feel that you will, and if I'm looking at how this is going to be a good year, you're going to be looking at these cards thinking, well, to organise my money and to keep an eye out at work with regards to security is not a good year. But if you are there and perhaps preempt changes, because you have got the Tower card there, it may actually be a good year for you, but you may feel that other people around you suffer a little bit. And to share information would be good because you're coming from all this Pentagon energy, especially to do with finances and career and how things work in work. You'd be good at that. I think that, this is good for you because you choose the friends that uplift you. You get rid of friends possibly, or keep away from friends that are very zealous. Is that the word? Zealous, isn't it? Zealots. Yeah. That are very sort of riled up, but are pulling you in a way that if that's not going to help me, why would I move with that? So overall, this is the best year for you for what I guess is self-growth. That's what I'm trying to say. And that may sound like, thanks Lindsay, that's a load of shit. That's not exciting. But at the moment, as life feels a little bit sort of compressed, that is exactly what's going on. How do you deal with it when the shit hits the fan? And that is where the most growth is. And this is actually a really beautiful spread for doing it in a very graceful way and coming out thinking, we don't, in life in general, we need some sort of tension to feel alive, unfortunately. I'm awful lazy, but we do. And this is you coming out on top of that. So I'm going to leave that there. So pile number 1, I hope that helps in some way. So you will have a really good year because you will find yourself, and there will be an element of what I guess is, I know we shouldn't feel prideful, but pride at the end of it, and freedom. freedom with strength. Okay, I'm going to leave you. Bye. Okay, how to have your best year yet. The first 3 cards are the sort of brown cards, which you've probably all seen before if you've watched this before, are more spiritual, more inward looking. And then we're going to have a look at more outward events like relationships, connections, work, finances. So let's start off with you. Where are you at the moment? The 10 of Cups is a very giving, very open-hearted, very connected card to have. So there's a gentleness in this as well. There's an ability to, very sort of spiritual feeling, very intuitive, very kind, very giving. So you're in a good place. It's like smoothed out feeling. It's very connected feeling. And that's what I mean by all the whales up here in the sky. That sounds ridiculous. That's what I mean by all the whales up here in the sky. I'm going to take that back. It still sounds silly. With the whales in the sky, there's an element of what I guess is, whales being very in the know, very those whales read books, very in the know. Oh, start again, Lindsay. You at the moment, you're in a really good place spiritually, probably very intuitive, very knowing, very insightful, sensing things, life is changing, but coming from a very good-hearted place that will be helpful to yourself and helpful to others. There's not a lot of drama there, but there's a lot of wanting to connect with people. There you are. Let's keep going. So what is your soul yearning for? 3 of Pentacles here. Again, it's connection. It's connection, and possibly with this card, there's an element of understanding. It's like teaching as well. So your soul is yearning to understand and to connect with people. It's a little bit like, this is the image I've got in my head. A lot of my images are possibly from my own life. It's like, I'm a teacher, so it feels like, there's a feeling here of like young kids because the little ears here. It's like a conversation before a kids' party that's going to be a little bit wild. Imagine really young kids, about 4 or 5, and with the teachers gathered before they go into the room and say, let's make this fun, but let's keep it under control. It's that type of feeling. It's knowing that things are changing and you want it to be as a good experience for the group as possible, but there also has to be an element of it not getting too much out of control. So that's what I'm guessing here. It's group work with a spiritual perspective, an insight into possibly on a spiritual level, which we all know is happening at the moment. We all know it's happening, but coming from a place of a little bit spiritual c'est la vie. It's like, okay, well, here we go. Let's do the best we can. It's like knowing that you are a spiritual beast more than you are a material beast, basically. It's lovely. It's lovely. It's the adult outside the room before you come and play with the kids. It's the one that knows what's happening. It's the one that is trying to think, okay, what can I do with what we've got here? How can we make this move? How can we make the experience so that the teachers aren't crying at the end of the party? It's that type of feeling. Does that make sense to you? I don't know if that is a bit sort of a bit of a tenuous link, but it's being the adult, it's being kind, it's wanting the best for everybody, and it's coming from a spiritual perspective. That's who you are at the moment. So what do you need to pay attention to spiritually, excuse me. So what I'm thinking here is that something that you need to do. Is there some way you can improve? Is there something you need to keep your eye out? Is there something that you need to let go? Now, that type of thing. It's the 9 of Pentacles, which is a really sweet card again. That is an element of protecting yourself. If you've got this type of energy, which has an element of, water in it possibly, with, this is a really difficult thing to sort of say. Water with the 3 of Pentacles can be sometimes water with fire, which can be very protective. But you've got pentacle energy here, which is very earthy, which can be very giving and very sort of understanding of how to do it in a material world, how to connect with people, how to organise situations. But either way, what you've got here is your energy is something that is spot on spiritually. Yeah, that's what I've got here. But the Nine of Pentacles here, what you need to pay attention to, excuse me, I got excited then. What you need to pay attention to is protecting that energy. You've got a sweet little deer here sniffing a lotus, but the Nine of Pentacles is often has a wall around it. So you've got that protection of yourself and your innocence and your foundation. You're no use to anybody if you give yourself totally away, that you drain yourself. Which, if you've got sort of Pisces, watery energy, it's easy to do that. I often think that, and I've said in the other pile here that when we were, I've always taught, well, I've taught since I was in my 20s, and there's something with sort of children, you put children in front of you and you just do it because they're children, don't you? When I've got like family who earn big money, work with money, and there were bits where the school's running out of money, so you end up doing extra days and not getting paid for it, and you just do it because it's kids. But that's this sort of cup energy here. But the other people that I know, that they don't do that. They earn, like, I don't know, multiples, far more than I do, and they just don't do it. So there's an element here of protecting yourself, because your energy is precious and you need it long term for everybody around you. Your kindness, your sweetness, your giving, your generosity, your ability, but you've got to keep yourself stable first. It's like putting on your oxygen mask first, and actually making sure that it's stable. So if you're tired, if you're exhausted, which could very much be with this type of energy, it's pull back for a bit, because you've got more of a job to be doing later on. We're going to need you long term. Yeah, probably what I'd say there. So what should you take outward action in? The Devil card. The Devil card is earthy. It's. I would put these two cards together. You actually have got all Pentacle cards here. So spiritually, you are dealing with, possibly more so, on organising things to make sure that people are okay. And because you've got this Cup card here, I'm talking about like teaching, nursing, something that is Pentacle energy. Nurses, Virgo, teachers, Virgo. I don't know, my imagination isn't that great with regards to other careers, but it's like you're organising things, but it's coming from what I guess a very sort of emotional viewpoint, or kind, giving viewpoint. It's not, you're not out for yourself and you need to protect yourself. But this card here is to take outward action with regards to securing things financially, securing things in an outward materialistic way. So I don't know what that, I can give you ideas. It could be where does your money sit? Where does your money go? Make sure that's secure. It could be organising things in work so that the structure and that it works correctly. It could also be talking to somebody about finances and organising and security with regards to your job. If it's that type of thing. It's actually going out in the outside world, and those bits that I was talking about with regards to again. Has anybody ever heard of Alex Collier? He used to be. I used to love looking at all these sort of UFO stuff. I still do. And he was probably reasonably famous about 20 years ago. And he came out with information. Some of it was really interesting. You've got to sort of judge for yourself. It's very difficult to ask me for this type of thing, because I take in information and I just take in information, and I don't really heard something the other day about Mercury. I'm Gemini, so it's ruled by Mercury. And Gemini's just sucking information. They don't really care whether it's true or not. They suck it in and they're just interested. Why, it was the Mercury that also rules Virgo, and they are straight away no, no, yes, no, yes, no. And I can see that, and I thought that's a really good way to put it. My husband's Virgo, and he just says no. And it sounds so rude. And he's just like, well, no, I mean it. It's no. So you've got all this sort of pentacle energy here, but you've also got this softness here. The Devil card is going more towards what I guess is the Virgo energy of yes, no. You can, oh no, sorry, that's what I was saying. Sorry, I got lost. Alex Collier, when he was doing or sucking in his information, giving it all out, and it was like a channeling type thing. There was a point, I remember this from years and years ago, where he had no money whatsoever. I think he lost his job and everything, and he was asking for funds, and I think he was supported that way. That is what there is an underlying feeling in here, that if you have what I guess is a very good organising but spiritual perspective at the top here, the Devil card is make sure with the walls surrounding here and keeping your innocence protected, and the Devil card here making sure that you still function in the outside world. It's make sure your finances are stable, because you can have all the spirituality in the world, and that's why I'm talking about Alex Collier, which I keep forgetting, is that once you don't have the money, I'm not saying this is not predicted in your spread at all, the money, this is what he was saying, to feed yourself, and you haven't got a roof over your head, somehow it can drain the information that you're getting that you want to share. It can drain anything. And I remember him sort of talking about that. I think that's really important. Yeah, and I don't know if I've explained that very well, but without the basics, you're no good to yourself. And this is sort of saying take care of the basics, and that's outwardly. Take care of the basics, basic security, food, organise, clean food, clean water, house over your head, as little mortgage possible as you possibly can. Maybe some savings in the bank so that you can protect the beauty that you've got here that I was trying to express, but I don't know if I did or not. Very much like pile number one. So let's go to what is your part? What part do you play? This is again looking at the spiritual thing in the grand scheme of things. I will answer the question at the end. The Magician, that you are the upstart. You are the one that understands what's coming, the Magician card here, and you give, through protecting yourself, an alternative reality. It's almost like if like times are shifting at the moment, which we all know they are, that you're the person at the end of it that reboots and comes out with new ideas, new thoughts, and from organising, but protecting yourself, but an element of gentleness. The Magician card is a masculine quality of somebody that manifests inside their head, their thoughts, their feelings, and then they take action. But the fact that is your job on the bigger scheme of things, I think you may be biding your time, keeping yourself calm and consistent for a couple of years, and this Magician card may come out more in 2 years' time possibly, where you will be possibly leading it more in a different way. But it's gentle, but it's firm, and it organises. But you've got to, what's in here is, I know the question is how to have your best year yet, and it's not going to be possibly what you expected. To have your best year yet with regards to what I've got here is to lie low. Keep yourself, it's like wrapped up warm. It's not so much that, but that is secure. It's keep yourself steady. Don't expect too much. Don't be yearning for big events. It's get the basic necessities in order. The finances, the money, the food, the house. And I would guess it with these cards here, a real sort of strong spiritual practice. Cleaning out your energy as much as possible. And the quickest way to do that, I would say, is through some form of yoga. And I don't just mean stretchy bendy yoga, but it could be, but some sort of breathing techniques. You've got to find those on your own because they've got to mean something to you. But it's some sort of breathing techniques with these cards here, and keep that going for a couple of years. So in breathing techniques, not just that, but just calm inside yourself and sit there and concentrate maybe on one thing, whether it's some sort of mantra but allow your mind to just relax and be what I guess is a more steady rhythm with the world, I suppose. So, and that is possibly going to be your job, and a bigger job will come later on. Okay, so what have we got here with regards to career here? The Four of Wands is stability, maybe what you want to see here. So that isn't going to add to any sort of feeling that you've got to take action or feeling that something is threatening. The Four of Wands is your career will stay secure, which will help this Devil card up here to be consistent on a material realm. I put that in to sound like it was magnificent. Realm. Finances. Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is, it's like change, it's like shift to some extent, but you've got stability here with regards to work. So there may be some options possibly. What's your soul yearning for? Group activities. To include other people possibly. To add on extra to your career. To make some sort of changes that are small. Two of Pentacles is small. It's like a sideline, or bringing in other people, or working with a different group of people. And that maybe lead to something else that may make you feel like you're on the right track, or you've met the right person, or you've got a good influence coming in. It could be having two jobs as well. So, but I feel that generally it's not big movement because you feel secure. It could be like adding on a little, I have said before, moonshine business, but it's something like that. So this card here is like your home, your hearth, who you are inside yourself, your stability on a bigger scale. Action of Swords. Action of Swords is moving towards something with mental action, or with clarity, or with understanding, or communicating. And you've got here what you're yearning for. It's like groups and knowledge and information. It's make sure you're with the right groups. Make sure that you surround yourself with people who think similar to you, that can actually feed some sort of, I was going to say inquisition, but that came with the last one. It's curiosity. Inquisition, as in I used it in the right sense, but it was curiosity. So groups to perhaps further what I guess, because you've got a very sort of gentle but strong spiritual energy in here, to further that, to find more about yourself, to, what would I say these two meant together? What would I be doing if I got these two cards? It's like heart meditation, because it's connecting in groups here, but it's doing it through swords, through mentally understanding or communicating. And the swords as well can be breath. So as I said earlier, it could be meditating, breathing techniques, but a lot concentrated. It is, look. Just look where just look what I've found. Look where their pentacles are. And this is breathing. Let me tell you a very quick story here, and it may push you into doing this even more. So, very quick story. Many years ago, I decided to have, my younger sister decided to ask this guy to come up and do Reiki, and he travelled up, and I was lying on the couch, and he put his hands over my heart for, anyway, we were like giggling and laughing. It was really sort of tense because I'm not very good with situations like that. I can't even go to the opticians without laughing. And he put his hand over my heart. Must have been for about, in channeling energy, for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I thought, oh, okay, that's okay. And then he went, and we just sort of giggled a little bit more about it. The next morning, I woke up. I can't explain this feeling. It's the closest you can get is being in love. And it's like when you have a new baby. and then they're absolutely perfect. You're the only person that thinks that, but they are absolutely perfect, and they are so innocent and so sweet. You just look at them like you've got the most precious thing which you have in your hand, in your arms, I suppose. That's what it will feel like if you do that on a regular basis. It may not last all day, you perhaps twice a day, but you will get to the point where you are really, really living this energy here totally. You will feel like a whale dancing in clouds. Unfortunately, that didn't last that long. It lasted, I would guess, till about midday, to be honest, which is possibly something about meditating twice a day. But I really do think that's a very, very strong feeling there. That's what you should be doing. And you hear these stories as well about people that meditate. There's a not famous story, but it's famous to me. I don't know where I got this. I don't know if somebody's told me this or whether it was in a book. I can't remember. Of a gentleman who had been meditating for years and very good at it. I think he was actually a teacher, and he was meditating on the top of his head all the time, and he said that it just felt as if it wasn't working anymore. And so he went to another famous lady who was, I guess she was famous, who was renowned for doing a similar sort of thing. And she said, why don't you try your heart? And it just shifted him totally. And that is, I think, it's a very feminine energy. And that is, I think, who you are naturally, and it's like bringing it out even more. So I'm going to stick with that because that's really strong. And I would recommend that if that feels right for you and you feel a bit of excitement, I want to try that, then try it. If you don't expect too much back straight away, but you will get there. As I said, it was 20 minutes, half an hour that this gentleman did it to me, but he was probably very practiced in channeling the energy through his hands anyway. So I'm going to leave that there. Let's go to the next bit here. But that would be life-changing. If you imagine what it'd be like if you felt like you were in love all the time with everybody and everything. And I've always been really interested in this type of thing. I'm going to go in a minute because I'm talking too much. And I look into different drugs. I do. And I don't mean drugs, but as in herbs that do actually open the heart centre. And I just find that really interesting. And I suppose to all you people who may be younger, it's going to, not that I know, of course, it's going to feel similar to ecstasy. I don't know what that feels like, but I can imagine it's the same. That would just be opening up different channels, and this is you opening up a heart channel. And I think that is important to your development and who you're going to be, and maybe who you already are, because it's already here. Let's go on to that. I'm going to stop now. So let's have a look at platonic relationships. The star card. The star card with regards to platonic relationships is, I'll start that again and actually speak. The star card with regards to platonic relationships is possibly the most positive card that you could have, because it is brotherhood and sisterhood and the future. And so this year may be a really good year for connecting with people on a very casual basis, and people that you may find enlightening. People that may help you on your journey, people that have an easy touch. I need a lover with a... Aquarius like to connect. They like people, but they don't like people too close. I've got lots of Aquarius friends. You can't phone them and ask them to do something. They have to phone you. I found that out. It's like when they're ready. But there's some sort of inspiration to do with what I guess are easygoing friendships. So you're going to have a good year with regards to connecting with people who will feel like your tribe. So let's have a look at love for the last card here. 9 of Pentacles is the same card you've got here. I'm going to say this straight, which I know is going to be a bit sort of depressing. I feel that your self-development, who you are, who you want to be, your gentleness and how it needs to be brought out in the world in the next couple of years, especially with the Magician card, is more important than love relationships at the moment. It's not saying that you won't have one, but it's saying you may not. I don't think the universe wants you to have one at the expense of being who you need to be. It's more important. Let's just put one more card over that last one. No, I say the same. I say the same, that you could have somebody around you who you're interested in. You could have a partner at the moment. That's not going to be the main, it's not going to be the main thing that you remember about the year. I think this year is going to be fantastic for you, for a sense of peace, a sense of, I feel like I'm going to put it into like a long-winded way, so I'm going to shorten it for you. It's finding your soul this year. That's what's going to make it such a great year. Finding your spirit, being in touch with it and being happy with what you find. And that is it. There's a softness, there's a gentleness, there's something that you should be doing that will become clear in a couple of years' time. And I think what you're getting is an element of stability around you, good friendships for you to be able to do that. It's got almost like, there used to be a lady that had a tarot channel called The Quiet Revolution, and I used to think that was a great, I know it's out of a book, but I used to think that's a really good title. It's a little bit like that. It is a little bit of a quiet revolution, and it's very heart-centered. And information, communicating is, because you've got the Star card, both of these areas, part of the key for you to find and understand yourself. So it's like reading, meditating, it's like a 12th house year for you, I think. And that's why it's going to be your best year yet. And I know, because we all live in the material world and we all believe what we see in front of ourselves, this table is really here. There'll be one moment, whether you have a near-death experience or that moment just before you're not here, you'll think, oh my God, that was a big joke. I wish I'd played with it a bit more. But I think that you get a chance to see yourself this year in a way that you think, wow, when that moment comes, you'll think, yeah, I did it. Look at me. So, yeah, that's why it's going to be your best year. Very sweet, very spiritual, very searching, very aha moments. But you're going to be called upon, I guess, the Magician card there in a couple of years' time to almost like pull everybody a little bit further in a gentle way. So I'm going to leave that there for you, pile number 2. Well done. Okay. Pile number 3. So, how to have your best year yet. This will end up with something you don't really expect, I guess. And I know these cards do look a little bit sort of, they're playing tricks with your eyes, don't they? Like a kaleidoscope. What we've got here is these brown cards are more like a spiritual perspective to begin with, and it becomes a little bit sort of material or everyday reality as it goes on. But I think this is possibly over the next couple of years, your spiritual perspective is going to be the most important thing to you. So that's where I'm starting with it. So let's see what we've got. This is you at the moment. Queen of Swords is a searcher for truth. Somebody who is straight, can be quite hard-hitting with regards to how they speak, and they can come across as a little bit sort of terse, but there's a search for information or an inquisitiveness there. You could be Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. You want to know. You want to know, and maybe that's a weird feeling. Okay, I'm going to say this may sound weird, and I don't want to be too weird just at the beginning, but I'm just going to kick it out there. If you are interested in, it's just a weird feeling that I had then, if you're interested in what I guess is the Middle East, like Iran, Iraq, and perhaps the myths that came from there, or the stories or the religions that came from there, please let me know, because there's just something in here that made me think about that. I think it's the Queen of Swords and the actual picture, but just to basically not sidetrack too much at the beginning that you switch off, is the Queen of Swords is somebody who's clear thinking, inquisitive, curious, wants to know, wants to understand, and that is where you are at the moment. You are a searching soul. So what is your soul yearning for as well as that? That's who you are. The King of Cups, to connect the heart with the mind, which is basically in every scripture, isn't it? It's to the Queen of Swords on its own, and I think I said this can be quite tough because they want to know, but there's no heart behind it. It's like, when I find out, I just want to know, I'm going to keep going. It can appear quite cool to people. Aquarius, Gemini, Maybe not so much Libra, but maybe that's just schmoozing. Who knows? But the Knight of Cups here is that you want to connect your spirit with your mind. You want to know that it's like sensing that your soul doesn't run on inquisitiveness. It can help you understand, but you just need to be, to feel at one with yourself. I find this difficult to sort of get the words around the cards, but it basically is a deep sort of understanding or wanting to fit. No, that's wrong. There's a deep searching to feel connected with your soul, even though your mind is forever ticking. And there's something about the mind stopping that connects you with your soul. But you can never get enough information. In changing times at the moment, I don't know how many bloody prophecies that I have read over the years, and I'm going back into them thinking, well, maybe you can get a bit more information out of this, a bit more information out of this. And I think the truth is maybe you should just stop searching a little bit. I'm talking about myself here, and just sit quietly. And it's really difficult to do because I'm just like, what's next? What can I find out? Really curious. As Rick Levine said, oh, I love this, an information slag, which I am, and I know I am. So it's like, the truth is, your spirit wants you to sit and say, here I am. I'm in this moment, in time, in this holographic universe, still searching when there may be no need to, and just to sit still and to love, to be kind, and be rested inside yourself. There's something about the Cups card there, and that's what they come across. How they come across is very sort of, Cups energy is Cancer, Scorpio, and what is the other one? I always forget the last one. Pisces. As I'm saying that, I'm searching inside my head thinking, who cries? Who cries? Who cries? And they just have that energy that just is, to some extent. It's just kindness, and I don't need to say something sharp, I don't need to say something witty, I don't need to look like I know everything. Or Pentacle energy, I don't need to feel that I'm secure, that my finances are, for me to feel unnervy, my finances are just all in a row. It's just like, I need to feel my soul, I need to feel connected. There's different energies for different things, and that's what it's saying. It's connecting with your heart rather than just your thoughts. Long-winded way of saying it. Let me shut up and go on to the next one. What do you need to pay attention to spiritually? So is this, I'm looking in this card, do you need to, is there anything else that you do need to know? Possibly not with that card there. Is there some way that it's something you should let go of? Is there some message that you need to be given? The Nine of Cups is, you've got it there already. It's getting this cup energy. It's like everything's there, everything's in place. And I said in the last spread, I told a story which I won't say, but if you want to listen to that, it's around about the same card as the last spread, so you can sort of like tap it backwards, about having some Reiki healing on my heart, and it being what I guess is a real emotional awakening. It's not emotional, it's spiritual really, because you just wake up the next day feeling in love with everything, and that is where your spirit actually should be. But we get frayed by the outside world. The Nine of Cups here reminding you that you are the pelican, you're the girl with all the gifts. That those fish are jumping into your mouth. It's already there. You've got everything inside you at the moment to allow life to gravitate towards you, as long as you find that space within inside yourself and remember who you really are. So don't go too bonkers on information. I can tell you this because I am that person. Don't go too much into trying to find out what this means, what that means. Taking everything too logically. It's like, just be, just move, just love. Love. Yeah, I gotta leave that there because that's what it is. I can say it again, I'll just repeat myself. So what do you need to take outward action on? If there is something. Embodiment of Pentacles is the King of Pentacles. Again, it's the King of Pentacles, which is very, very steady in the way that it moves. And again, something I was saying in the last spread, it's finding security inside yourself. No, wrong. Finding security in the outside world to allow this energy to continue to flow. Again, in the last spread, there's a couple of bits here that are very similar. I was talking about a gentleman called Alex Collier, who was like a channeler, or I used to be I still am very interested in UFOs and all this type of thing. Again, it's this card. And he got to the stage where I think he was like chased by the government or something. And there's quite a few, Bill Cooper as well. They were hounded a lot, and to the fact that I don't know if they found it easy to keep themselves financially secure, and so they were like asking for, I don't know about Bill Cooper, but they were asking for money with regards to, you know, to eat and to keep a roof over their heads. This is sort of saying, make sure that you keep an eye on outside circumstances to keep yourself stable, so that you can allow this growth, this softness, this space inside yourself. You've got it there already, you just got to let it go, and you will need to have to pull back a little bit from outside the outside world to get that moving, or to keep it moving. I don't know where you are at the moment. But you will need security with that. There'll be nothing that can turn you grumpy or can somehow stop your spiritual journey to some extent, depends on the amount of dedication you've got there, than not having a roof over your head. Scrabbling to just be, and I don't mean that in the actual house over your head, but the basics covered are needed for you to be able to somewhat be secure enough to thrive. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. I know it's different for different people, and you get people in different countries who are incredibly spiritually advanced, who have absolutely nothing, but that's a different country, and that'd be a different experience. It'd be, you know, some sort of ashram or monastery somewhere, possibly, or, you know, some indigenous group somewhere. But it may not be as easy to you. So I'm just going to say it again: keep finances secure as much as you possibly can to be able to get the best growth out of yourself. So what part do you play in the grand scheme of things? The Three of Wands. My thoughts are, it's like a rubber band. It's like it stretches outwards over the next couple of years, and things get maybe a little bit tense, and you come to action when things ping back with the Three of Wands there, because the Three of Wands is like the third leg, isn't it? It's a bit like what are those? Oh, there's the kids play, you know, those that they put a stone in it and they pull it back, catapult. It's that sort of feeling, or that sort of, that I've got inside myself. It's you play a part when the elastic pings back. Again, this is very similar to pile number 2. You may want to watch that one. It's almost, almost the same sort of rhythm that's in here. Is asking you here to concentrate on yourself, on your softness, on your heart, on not being too much taken away with regards to curiosity and what's happening in the outside world. And then it's that your part will be played later on, maybe in a year or two. So this isn't answering your question, how to have your best year yet. I would say with what we've got here so far is to not scrabble, to not strive too much, to keep yourself in some sort of practice that develops your compassion, not your curiosity, your softness, your kindness, your ability to love in every activity that you do. And I always think as well, and I said this in the pile number 2, is to meditate on your heart. Let's have a look career-wise. 4 of Cups here. It's not really interested in it, to be totally honest. It's like your career's moving, but it's not your main interest. Everything's okay. You could be offered some sort of sideline, advancement, promotion, different direction, but I don't really feel that you're searching that much with regards to career. I don't think there'll be much change. I don't think you'll be that bothered either, to be honest. Let's have a look at finances. You've got a nice card up there for finances. You've got the Inspiration of Cups here. The Inspiration of Cups here could be a different thought here, is possibly because you've got the Knight of Cups up here, that there could be something in the way that your energy is pushed out into the world, that if you are already in a vibration of what I guess is compassion and giving and love and all those magical new age things, that might actually, as I said, with the ricocheting feeling here, it may ping back to you, which is a really weird thing to say. It's like somebody could help you. I can give a long story here. Yeah, I'm going to give a long story here. But a quick long story, it'd be about a minute. It's a personal story, which I know always sounds a bit sort of vain, but just to give an example here is helping a friend out. Well, she was a friend, she sort of lived near us with something very small, and thinking, I can tell you what it is actually. It was snowing, it was freezing, we were in some sort of polar vortex, which is unusual for us, and everybody's heating went down. And we had one heater and we were all shuffled around, and I was talking to this lady about heater, and she said, we're absolutely freezing, our pipes are freezing. So I gave her the heater, which I thought, do I really want to do this? Anyway, I gave it to her. That lady later became almost like the main, not touch paper, but the main person who helped me get the job that I had for 5 years, which I really enjoyed. And then afterwards, when I was, I'm going to say homeless, but I was in between homes, she also let us rent a house. When we sold our house and we just couldn't find anywhere else, and her auntie had this house and she said, well, go in here, you can pay me, and we couldn't find anything else. And it was almost like, this is the inspiration of cups coming back from, perhaps in one moment in my life I was actually kind, and here you are with the inspiration of cups, it comes back on you. So financially, that could possibly say that your kindness, possibly the way that you come across to people, could incite some gift promotion, opening up. Really, it doesn't feel like, because of the cup card here, like money's piled on you. It feels like you get a chance to be somebody helps you. It's like a leg up, really, that helps you financially rather than giving you money. So that is lovely. We've got quite a few cup cards around in here. So let's have a look at this card here. Is like your foundation, your core. It can be your home. It can be something very much more trivial, like decorating the house. Or it could be something like moving house, but it could be your inner foundations. The Spirit of Pentacles here, again, that could be something. It's like a Page of Pentacles. It could be putting money into renovating, decorating, because it's something small and it's something practical. So I'm going to keep it at that. Not try and put too much emphasis on that to make it something grander. Spirit of Pentacles is something very solid. Think of Virgos. If you ask a Virgo, how would you most like to improve your foundation? They'd be like, they wouldn't be, oh, I'd like to, something sort of higher minding, but they can't quite hold on to. They'd be like, do you know what? I'd like to actually put some gravel on my drive. That's how they think. And that was a bit sort of facetious thing to say, but that's what that card is saying. It's think like a Virgo. What can you do practically to make yourself feel happy in your home? And that is it. Right, the next one is platonic relationships. So the Temperance card with the platonic relationships is a little bit like the duality in here. This is, again, it's not a great, grand, fantastic message, and I will sum it up with regards to answering the question at the end. It's to just keep them alive through contact. It's like, be there with people, give them a call, actually show up and communicate. And it's ease, it's flow, it's nothing big, nothing grand happening, it's just keeping things moving. But it's a nice, very nice card. The Temperance card does have a spiritual perspective. It's like balance and ease, but it's talking about practicalities and also spirituality. So it's finding people who are your tribe and making the room for them, or making an effort with them. The last card here is love, oneness. My first thought here is to put it back to these cards here, which, because you have got two beautiful cards beside each other with regards to spirituality. And I'm going to say this, and I feel that people don't want to hear it, but it is the message, to be honest. It's finding love inside yourself, feeling in love with who you are, your spirit, your body, your position in life, the people around you. And as I said, after that, only because it's in your thing here, after that sort of Reiki, it was such an eye-opener. and this was, you know, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and to have that feeling of oneness, and it lasted till mid-morning, and it was like waking up with her, is just a beautiful feeling to be in. And I think you're almost there. So actually, to be honest, your pile is the hardest to summarise here with regards to how to have your best year yet. Let me just look at these cards here. Best year yet is to stop looking for answers, to stop searching for things that may fuel you mentally for a period of time. Read it, but just, you know, just it's entertainment rather than something, you know, that's got that needs to sit inside you for you to feel like this is me. With these cards here, you are already what you are looking for, and that is kind and sweet and open and good-hearted, and that is what that's saying. And it's just to realise that, to find that love. It's not looking for it outwardly either. It's not looking for it in relationships. It's not looking for it in love for others. It's inside yourself. Connect with friends. This is a very sort of, it's not it is a profound year, but it's not a, this is going to happen, this will happen, this will happen. And to be honest, none of the piles are. You possibly, on the way of trying to use prophecy or to, you know, to premonition in some way, you possibly could get some sort of helping hand or kickback from people that you have been kind to or gentle with, or that have recognised that you're just a good person on the way. I feel that work and friendships are okay, that effort is needed on both. Effort is needed. I don't think you're particularly bothered about work. I think you're just basically keeping it as it is. With the Temperance card there could be some good friendships that could lead you to what I guess is a sense of more security inside yourself, more spiritual development here, because the Temperance card is a spiritual card, and there is one foot in the water here, which is spirit, but you've got to make the effort in the outside world to keep those consistent, or to, you know, to get them started even. The part you're playing is that you're keeping yourself calm over this next year, maybe next 2 years, because after that, your energy will be much needed with regards to the people around you and the world in a bigger sense. So how to have your best year yet is to search inside yourself for peace. That is what nobody wants to hear, because everybody possibly is waiting. They may do, I don't know, waiting for this will happen, this will happen. But all these spreads are the same today. It is like find your spirit, find your soul. And you're ending with oneness there. That's what it is. That's what it is. Nothing drastic is going to happen next year. You're just going to feel like, this is me. It's like dropping fear, dropping competition, dropping yearning a little bit, dropping a need to be something in the outside world. And just before I finish, if we've got 0 degrees in astrology, Neptune and Saturn, they're both slightly battling with each other, aren't they, a little bit? 0 degrees is the beginning of the zodiac. It's like the beginning of a new civilization. But Saturn wants things to move in the outward world. Neptune wants to be spiritual, doesn't really care if, it's a bit like this card, doesn't really care if anything happens. So it's like skidding tyres. And lots of people, especially with planets around 0 to 4 degrees in their, you know, their charts, will feel like they are skidding their tyres. You've got to feel some form of, that's okay. If there is such a huge reboot in the world, why would I rush? And that reboot, and I think we all know, has a spiritual, I think everybody knows this, is a spiritual. It's a spiritual reboot. It's got to be. It's a spiritual component to it if you don't want to think it's a complete reboot. And your time will come when there's more action in the future. And things start happening fast. When you are feeling like, I'm at home inside myself. So that's what I've got, pile number 3. I'm going to love you and leave you with that. I hope it helps. It could be your best year yet, but I don't think you'll realise it till you look back and think, oh my gosh, I changed. And you will know that when situations hit you and you're not the least bit bothered. You're just like, oh, c'est la vie. So I'm going to leave you with that, and that is precious. But as I said, we're all very much burning to find out what we're going to do in the outside world. And those 2 planets that I mentioned aren't really letting us at the moment. It's like, stop, think. This is a big move. Who do you want to be next? So maybe that's why all 3 powers are very similar. I'm going to love you and leave you. Bye.